What you're looking at right here, right now on your screen is not photoshopped. This is very real, what I'm about to read to you and what I found. And to confirm that it was true, I was on Instagram and I just happened to be scrolling through and I came across this post and it made me stop dead in my tracks before I went into anything else. And I immediately said, let me go and type certain keywords into Google. And sure enough, a whole bunch of articles popped up that confirmed what many of us knew was coming down the pipeline. And that is not only the reduction of age for child marriage, but the eliminating of age for child marriage altogether. And we're starting in the state of Tennessee. How am I not surprised that it's starting in Tennessee? Somehow I knew it would be some southern redneck state that would kick this off. So you see what it says right on your screen. It says Tennessee Republican pushes bill to allow child marriage that would scrap the state's current minimum age of 17 before couples could tie the knot. Bill sponsor Tom Leatherwood, what a name, age 65, has introduced a bill into the Tennessee House that would eliminate age limits for common law marriages. Something just tells me he wants to indulge in this, because notice they're giving away their ages. Leatherwood said the bill proposed an alternative form of marriage to those who conscientiously object to the current pathway to marriage. Opponents of the bill worry the lack of age limits could cover up child sex abuse. Nashville Representative Mike Stewart, age 57, called the bill ridiculous. He said the bill was a get out of jail free card for people who are basically committing statutory rape. The state law currently allows children 17 and older to get married. Minors are required to have parental consent. Now that's just the overview of a much lengthier article that I'm going to read. So let's get into it. And it was posted on April 5th, 2022, which is the day that I'm recording this video. A Republican proposed bill in Tennessee would remove the age limit for when couples could exchange wedding vows and clear the way for common law marriages between one man and one woman. Representative Tom Leatherwood, age 65, of Arlington, introduced the bill into the state's House that would eliminate the current age requirement of 17 and allow for alternative forms of marriage to those who conscientiously object to the current pathway to marriage. Basically saying, eliminate the age limit, and we can go younger than 17. We told y'all, listen, we have been saying this for a while now. They are coming for the kids. And this is just a law. This is a bill that's being proposed. I don't know if it's been passed yet or not. Hopefully it doesn't. But the fact that it's actually being proposed and it's about to be presented in front of a board to actually possibly be passed is scary. So all this bill does is give an alternative form of marriage for those pastors and other individuals who have a conscientious objection to the current pathway to marriage in our law. The Republican father of 5 said, according to WJHL, there is not an explicit age limit. Opponents are worried if the bill passes into law, it could be used to cover up child sex abuse and statutory rape. That's exactly what I believe is going to do and what it is intent to do. The bill would eliminate statutes on marriage licensing and ceremonies and limit the courts in cases involving the definition of common law marriages. The House is set to hear the bill on Wednesday. Democratic Nashville Representative Mike Stewart, age 57, called the bill a get out of jail free card for people who are basically committing statutory rape. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. So that another reason why this terrible bill should be eliminated, he said. I don't think any normal person thinks we shouldn't have an age requirement for marriage. Tennessee is currently the 13th largest state per capita for child marriages, trailing Texas, Alabama, Utah, Oklahoma, and Nevada, which is tops since 2018. Texas has married roughly 42,000 children, the biggest number of children per state, while California has married off roughly 24,000 and Tennessee almost 10,000. Under the current Tennessee law, a person can get married as young as 17 as long as they have their parental consent. It only became illegal for minors under the age of 17 to get married in 2018. That was what, 4 years ago. Prior to that, Tennesseans could bypass the age requirement as long as a judge waived the age limit through the parental consent. Same-sex marriages were banned by Tennessee in 1996 before Supreme Court landmark ruling in 2015 made it legal in all 50 states. Leatherwood bill comes after Florida passed the Parental Rights Act, which has been dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill, which Republicans are using to ban the discussion of sex and gender in the classroom. Republicans have increasingly claimed that liberals advocating to strike down the bill are grooming and sexualizing children by indoctrinating them. Now listen to what they just said here. They are saying that if you are trying to strike down this bill, you are grooming and sexualizing children by indoctrinating them. Do you see the psychobabble wordplay that they're using? One would suggest that that's what they're doing. The Sexual Assault Center of Middle Tennessee has also denounced Leatherwood's bill, saying it does not believe the age of consent for marriage should be any younger than it already is. It makes children more vulnerable to coercion and manipulation from predators, sexual and other, the organization said in a statement. According to UNICEF, roughly 300,000 Americans were married before turning 18 between 2000 and 2018. Roughly 1 in 5 women will be married prior to turning 18, leaving 10 million girls at risk. Before the pandemic, roughly 100,000 girls worldwide were expected to marry before the legal age, but that has since spiked to the millions, the agency said. Underage marriages largely affects girls, with boys experiencing roughly only a sixth of the time. And we know why that is, because it's mainly these old perverted PC men mainly who are the ones who are advocating for it the most. What are they going to do with a little boy? Unless they're, unless they are a priest. Yeah, I said it. The organization also reported that child marriages also often lead to domestic abuse, children dropping out of school, and adolescent girls becoming pregnant and facing high-risk pregnancies. I'm not shocked at any of what they just said there. Only 6 states in the U.S. ban underage marriages. Those states are Delaware, New Jersey, Minnesota, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, and New York. The Tennessee bill also proposes that the state should have to defend any clerk who refuses to issue a marriage license. The Tennessee House of Representatives Civil Justice Committee is set to hear the bill on Wednesday. It has already passed 6-3 in the state's Senate committee hearing. Leatherwood has been a House member of the 111th and the current 112th General Assemblies and is the current vice chair of the Health Committee. He was also a Senate member of the 98th through 101st General Assemblies. In 44 states, children in the U.S. can get married under the age of 18. Although each state set its own age limit, some states allow children as young as 12 to be married off to an adult, leaving minors in a vulnerable position where they can legally marry before being old enough to consent to sex. The age of consent varies by state, but is between the ages of 16 and 18. 14 states' child marriage laws violate statutory rape laws, according to the Journal of Adolescent Health. Meanwhile, 11 states, including Oregon, North and South Dakota, and Alabama, do not provide marital exemptions, meaning spouses of underage children who are legally married cannot be charged with raping a minor. I'm learning a lot right now, and every last bit of what I'm reading is just disgusting me right now. 10 states, however, only provide one in some crimes. However, the vast majority of the U.S. does not provide an exemption to all crimes. According to McGill, these states include Texas, Ohio, Washington, New York, Hawaii, and more. Researchers found that a proportion of underage marriages that meet the definition of a sex crime vary from 1% to more than 50%, with exemptions. Without exemptions, it can be as high as 80%. Our study exposes the inconsistency between laws that permit children to marry and laws that criminalize sex with children across the U.S. The research shows that some child marriages are indistinguishable from sex crimes, a McGill professor said. Massachusetts has the youngest age limit, with girls 12 and up and boys 14 and up able to marry with parental consent. Other states such as Arkansas and New Hampshire also have differing ages for males and females. Arkansas limits underage women to 16 and older, while males have to be 17. Meanwhile, New Hampshire is 13 for girls and 14 for boys. I would like to know who these parents are that are pretty much signing off their child to get married to these old pervs, whether male or female. That's what I'm trying to figure out. California does not have an age limit. as long as parental consent is obtained according to world population. Only 6 states have banned underage marriage. The states are Delaware, New Jersey, Minnesota, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, and New York. That was a lot to digest, what I just read, and I'm still digesting. Listen, we have warned people for the longest time. This is where they were headed, and here we are. Here we are. It's crazy to believe that this is what it's come to, but yeah, we are in the thick of it now. Like I said, this is, and the thing is, I didn't even know all these other states actually had child marriage laws or child marriages on their books, like in their states. That wasn't a lot of states that I read off that did not adhere to that. I think they said it was, what, 6 states out of 50? That leaves, what, 40? That's 44 states in total that live by this law or have this bill where you can have a minor get married with the parental consent. But Tennessee's taking it a step further, where they want to eliminate the age requirement altogether, which means they can legally go below the age of 17. They can go as low as they want. And they basically are saying that it will not be against the law if they do it. I can't remember if they said or not about the parental consent part, but they also said that the people who administer the marriage licenses, they cannot oppose giving it. They have to give it, or they got to suffer consequences, no matter how they may feel about it, because then it's the law. And as long as it is a law and they go against it, they are therefore breaking the law and will have to suffer the consequences. That could be maybe the loss of employment. That could be a fine, or worse, jail time. Like I said, here we are. This is it. This is the part we've been talking about. This is where it is. And like I said, I'm not surprised that they're kicking this off in a southern state. I'm not even remotely surprised that they're doing this. In Tennessee, keep in mind, this is the same place where the Klan was founded. I'm just throwing that out there. I know it's no relation, but still, if they could find, if the Klan could get established out there, then this is par for the course.